Probably here I'm a little bit better this week, not 100% still, but yes. Round 11 of 12 tonight is from the Hungary ring. We, as you can see, have a sprint race first, so 2 qualifying sessions. Looking forward to that. That's always good. And yeah, sprint race, then a feature race. Weather going to be interesting tonight. We've got all the usual suspects in, as you can see. Go through them during qualifying. Just going to quickly get the stream link up and get that shared. But yeah, should be good tonight. As I say, I'm feeling okay, unlike last week where obviously I was struggling with a fever, so I hope you enjoyed the stream that was left on. But yeah, we'll have to see. There we go. Also this week we have updated championship standings, which is good. And we can go to the drivers' standings right now. Remember, 2 races to go. Double points next week as well, being the last race of the season. And as we can see, Tim has dominated. 7 wins this season. And still got to wrap the title up, though. Paddy in second again, like last season. Looking really good. King Panda there in third. There's my main man, Gagley. Are you racing tonight? I can't see your name. No, you need to do a full season, Gagley. You might. I swear you'd win a championship. You're 5th and you'd miss like 3 races. So, yeah. Anyway, on to the constructors. Let's have a quick look before we get underway. And it's quite dominant for the Red Bulls. The Aston Martins in second, Haas in third. But the gap between the Aston Martins and the rest is quite large. So it's going to be tough for anyone but the Astons to catch the Red Bulls at the front. We'll have to see though. Of course, double points next week also means more points for the constructors, and that could make a difference. What? I hope that wasn't me. I hope I wasn't the stupid steward. Although I don't really do a lot of stewarding, I just give an opinion. I don't actually make decisions. You shouldn't have left though. I assume you're in another league. You should be anyway. I'm glad it wasn't me. Yeah. No, I obviously I see all the incidents, and I just say if there's anything happened on stream, you know, like regards another camera angle for the incident or whatever. I don't make the big decisions. If you need another league, I'm sure you've got no shortage of offers. I do know some leagues that will obviously look to have you in. He's won 7 races out of the 10 this season, so he would be favourite. He's obviously he's pretty dominant. One thing I will say about the stewarding, not just in this league, but in general, through my experience as both a driver and a commentator, is that I think it's a massive conflict of interest when you've got stewards that drive in the same league that they're taking stewarding decisions on or in. I think it's a huge conflict of interest, and if you have the personnel to do it, then don't have that. It's just a conflict of interest, isn't it? I mean, not even necessarily. You're not necessarily even doing it for your own benefit, but you might be like unconsciously doing it. Or is Palander your replacement? I guess you was with Booker, weren't you? What? I'm sure that. Yeah. All right. Fair. Let me have a look. But I think Booker was a replacement for someone as well. I thought you had a different teammate. We'll see. I'll have a look at the current driver standings. He has managed to score. He's had 4 races, and he's had 2 good finishers, and he had a 2nd position in Austria, to be fair. Oh yeah, Lewis. Yeah, I thought you. I remember doing the draw. I was like, oh yeah, Booker wasn't in there. Yeah, so he's doing all right. He's actually 12th in the standings right now. He's been picking up good points. Got the first fast lap anyway. It's Reese on the mediums. This should be interesting. Reese obviously is pretty fast. I'm sure he'll be allowed, and if I'm in the chat with all the what we'll call them, the management, and I'll yeah, I want you in there because you're quick. So Reese looking decent, just testing himself out a bit. Obviously, if it is either of those two, I'm pretty sure I could convince them to have you back in. Well, it's water under the bridge though, you know, these things happen. So that's a 115.0. There we go. There's Sean there, putting a 114.1. Be careful with the tyres, you know, sprint qualifying and then actual feature race qualifying after the sprint. Don't want to go burn through too many sets here. Taffy just getting slowed down a bit. Craig with a 119 dead there. So I'm eating a yogurt at the same time as I'm commentating. I shouldn't be, but Yeah. Let's see what Taffy puts in. A 117.8, a 117.6 for Chappie. Tim's still in the pits. Let's go on board with the Aston Martin then. Let's see what Bucko can do. Oh, going a bit sideways on there, so we can skip that and go to Pandaman Gaming, who's just started his first fast lap of the evening. Right, the yogurts have been eaten. I had 2 little ones. And still 114.1 is the time to beat. 9/10 between Sean and second place right now. I saw Pandaman making a few mistakes there. I'm sure this is not going to be the fastest time. Yeah, 1:19.0. Tim's still in the pits. Asteer's now in sector 3 with a 1.14.4, which is good enough right now for second position. As we've got Josh, got our main man Josh in the McLaren. He's been having quite a good season. I'll say Hungary, top 3 track on the calendar. Not this calendar, any calendar. Yeah, for me, it's one of my favourites. Love it. 1:15.6 for Josh. You see a lot of medium runners not risking the soft tyre. Sean's coming out for another outlap. I'm just going to quickly switch to... He's gone on to the mediums. He did complete his fast lap on the softs. As we can see this best laps. Yeah, from Sean, the next 6 below are all have all put their laps in on medium tyres. So interesting one, really. As we ride on board with Ace, who had a good showing last week, especially in qualifying. Looked very quick. That's a 1:17.0. That's currently 11th position. I don't know why I went up instead of down, but there we go. Let's get on with the Red Bull King Panda. As you can see, such a technical circuit, and not just in the feature race but the sprint race too. This is a track where you have to be 100% on it the whole race. You can't afford to have any breaks in concentration. There's no real massive straights. There's Josh in the chat, currently sitting 6th. Nice one, just getting in behind him there with 1:15.9. This could be a big time. Soft tyres as well, by the way, for King Panda. This could be a connection issue there or what, but yeah. Into 6th. You are on the mediums as well, though, to be fair. So we have to take that into consideration. Currently first place is in first, probably due to running soft tyres. So here comes Tim on his out lap. This will be a big lap, this. And got Palander here on softs, currently in fourth. Look, very lucky there. That could well have been a lap invalidation there. December the 6th for fortnight. That's what I'm saying. It's a bit of a rough lap, this from Palander. You'd imagine it's going to go quicker by virtue of having soft tyres, but we'll have to see. Yeah, up to third, and Tim's just started his fast lap here, so this is the one. He's got to get this lap right. If he gets any traffic of any sort here, he could be in trouble. There's not time to put a new fresh set of tyres on. Again, as usual though, Tim looking really smooth. Got to be careful there on the inside. Oh, he's backing out, is he? Is he going for another out lap? We're gonna stick with him, obviously. His teammate King Panda won't be putting another lap in, won't be giving him a little boost, a little tow. We'll see what he can do. Make a little bit of a gap here. Here we go then, this is going to be the fast lap. Sean has retired from the session. That is a good time still, 1:14.1. I think that'll hold up pretty well. Paddy sneaked into 5th position there. Once again, nice and smooth. So that's qualifying over. So you can already see that a few have completed their session. Most notably Palander in 3rd position. Rees puts in a lap that's good enough for 2nd there, just 0.2 behind Sean. This is the one though. And is Tim going to be able to take 1st position here? Is he going to be on pole for the sprint? Steers moves up to 2nd position with a 1:14.161, just 300ths slower, and Tim puts it in 4th. Okay. 1:14.4, 0.3 off pole position, but 0.3 off the front row really, or 2.5. And it's just Nade who's coming into the pits. So Sean will be starting the sprint race from pole position. Steers will be 2nd from Rees and Tim. Paddy on the 3rd row with Palander, then Josh and King Panda. And we've got Nade, Ice One, Taffy, Craig, Aidan, Bucko, Chappie, Ace, and at the back both Salvers in Pandaman Gaming and Shane. Quite surprising. There we go, that is qualifying over. Mercedes Sean looking very, very quick. I hope you can't hear me cough when I mute my controller. So there we are. Nade actually did his lap in the Haas on medium tyres. I wonder if the Saubers did. No, everyone else ran the softs. You see the front three, and then there's a slight gap, but really from first to seventh, very, very close. And then you've got a 6/10 gap between Josh and King Panda. No real big surprises here in qualifying. Maybe Tim being fourth, but he did just put one lap in really late. He didn't, he didn't put in multiple laps just trying to improve. I think he's more about saving his tyres for the actual qualifying and, of course, the race. Let us see then. Everybody will be just adjusting their fuel loads. The strategy should be pretty simple. You don't want to pit in during a sprint race if it's at all possible. As we're underway with the formation lap. Everyone on medium tyres. We'll be expecting to carry those mediums all the way through this session. Again, as I mentioned, I would be very, very surprised if anybody voluntarily pits in. The 10 car length rule in effect. As you can see, is that a Steers has just gone. He's just off. He just wants to get his out lap done as quickly as possible. His formation lap, which, to be fair, I don't blame him. Some people just like, I'll warm my tyres up by going full throttle. We'll see if there's any disqualifications on the grid. Obviously that puts them a few meters further back to start, which does actually make a big difference. You see there on the right hand side of your screen, look how Steers has put that nicely. Craig and Nade have both been disqualified there. Just puts their car back an extra couple of few meters. Aiden as well. Here comes the final car, the Sauber of Shane. Here we go then, we're underway, and it's a very good start for Sean, not so good for Steers, who's going to have to push Reese a little bit. Tim and Palanda side by side, looks like Tim's got the advantage there, and as you can see the Haas of Reese off the track. Tim taking full advantage up to third position, up to second position, side by side with the Steers. While all this is going on, we've got caution in sector 1. It looks like Josh in the McLaren there. Nobody's on the soft tyres, so don't worry about that one stop on the on-screen telemetry there. Let's concentrate on this start then. So Sean, with a fantastic start, managed to stay out of trouble, out of everyone's way, and currently leads the race on lap 1. DRS enabled from lap 2 though. It's a difficult overtake here at Hungary. Probably the only place you can realistically do it is into turn 1. There are other points at which you might be able to overtake, but they're all quite risky. So we're at the beginning of lap 2. As you can see already, quite a big gap between this top 4 and everyone else. There's Reese right behind Tim. Let's get on board, and he's got 8/10 on Palander behind, who might be holding Paddy up ever so slightly here. King Panda has dropped out of DRS already of the top 6, so that could be interesting. Really unfortunate start for Josh. We can quickly check. Is that damage to the front right end plate? No. We don't know for sure if he's carrying damage, but his car looks okay. So Steers now 8/10 behind Sean, who's really pushing here, looking to gap everyone else. That's going to hold Tim up too, although Tim's in a decent position here, running 3rd. Another fast lap from Sean. Bucko in sector 3 there, having a bit of a problem. He's kept the car going though. I think that's Ace has had to come into the pits. Again, no overtakes really. Aiden dropping down, let's see, in 15th position. Yeah, look, just ghosted there because he was off the track. No damage by the looks of things. And as you see now as well, Palander and Paddy both closing the gap. So this top 6 is where it's at right now. King Panda dropped to 2.4, 2.5 now, and it's that time is increasing. You see 2.7. So, oh, and we've got a Williams there of a Steers, and you can see that is that's a lot of damage. You can see front left end plate absolutely gone, and we've got caution in sector 2. I think that might be Ace or Bucko. So Steers down into 4th position, carrying damage, which in such a technical track like Hungary is going to make you lose out. Tim goes through on Reese goes through on Tim, apologies, and just managed to reclose the gap there and get some all-important DRS. This is one of the few tracks you could try and gap somebody at, because of course where the DRS is. You can, if you're 4-5 coming out of the second DRS zone in front, you could definitely gap somebody. You see, Sean looks very, very good in sector 2 and 3. And speaking of sectors 2 and 3, we have, I think that might have been King Panda there. As Steers now holding those behind him up. I think it's just a matter of time. Let's, well, there's Palander going through, and Paddy not quite close enough. Double DRS zone, and Palander will take full advantage of that. We're looking to get on the back of this front 3 once again, but sprint race not Not too many laps to do it. Yes, there's Paddy going through on Steers. Steers is out of the race. We just saw. See if we can see from Josh's point of view. Well, it was that corner. And you see there, off the track, and that is his sprint over. I think he'll still be quite confident going into the feature race with the pace that he was showing. Gap to Palander now, 2.2 from Tim, so yeah, gonna be tough. .3, yeah, it's going to be really tough for anyone to close in on this front three. As we approach the halfway point of this session, of this sprint race, more flags out in sector 3. It's a Ferrari. Now, I don't know if that's Ace or Taffy. I think it was Ace. He's in the pits. So, you see the gap around about 7/10. It's very difficult for Tim to catch Reese here, and Sean is showing some absolutely outstanding pace as Palander and Paddy again side by side. Let's go to these who are having a real good battle for 4th position, and a slight touch there. Nothing too menacing. Gap's been closed a little bit at the top here, between the top 3, so that's going to be interesting to see how that develops. But of course these two, as they're battling, have started to hold each other up from the top 3. Let's see if Paddy decides to make a move. We'll stay on board with them. Here he goes. Got a nice run with the DRS. As I mentioned, double detection zone. Others are trying to outbrake Paddy. He's got to leave enough room on inside. Paddy trying to make a little squeeze there. Looks like he's just about going to keep this. Although Palander does have a decent line. Oh, Paddy with a little move that just, yeah, get out of my way. And yeah, up into 4th position. Reese with 3 seconds for multiple track limit warnings is very, very much going to finish 3rd, unless those around him also fall foul of too many track limit warnings themselves. Massively difficult though to overtake here at Hungary. Still, as I mentioned, I love the track. I love the fact that you have to be absolutely on it just to compete. As you see now, Reese is going to try and have a go. Takes the lead of the race. We'll have DRS again, and Tim's going to have DRS behind, so could close the gap. This is a There's a pivotal moment of this sprint race right now, especially for Sean. Let's see how he responds to, for the first time, not being in first position. Some late drama further down there between Pandaman and Craig. As you can see, another three. Oh, no, three for Tim. Sean goes into the lead. I wonder what's happened there. Let's get up to those again. I was just looking at the battle further down. Sean will probably feel a lot more comfortable knowing that he's got 3 seconds in hand over those around him. Tim just making sure Sean takes the widest possible line, and as you can see, Sean not giving it up. Retakes second position. He's just got to stay within 3 seconds of first round, but not now. All three of them now with 3-second time penalties. So that's changed the whole dynamic, and Reese, who is currently running in first position, well, not anymore. Sean goes through, so there's no advantage for anyone here. Reese drops down to third. Both Sean and Tim go through. Lap 10 of 12, so 2 more laps to go after this. Now Tim looks to make the move to go into first position, and does, as he made his move too early there. You see Sean and Reese side by side. Sean in second position right now. So Tim has to take the wide line into turn 1, which kind of blocks Reese off. Sean just looking to try and make the pass. Not able to. He's still got another lap though. Just further down, Paddy dropped back now ever so slightly. Although, 6 tenths. King Panda up into 6th again, overtaking Ice One. But it's come down to these 3 for the race win and for the 2 podium positions. Unless, of course, one of them gets another track limits penalty. Or corner cutting, or dangerous driving, whatever. I think track limits is really the only penalty that they should be worried about. And a touch there. Reese maybe carrying too much speed. I don't think Sean had anywhere to go there. And Sean closing in. This is the final lap of the sprint race. That's a fantastic turn 1. Oh, and he's out of control a little bit there. Trying to go down inside. Tim with fantastic concentration there, and not losing focus. Maybe a little bit of a nudge there from Tim on Sean. Not sure. I'll have to wait and see. As Sean is off into 3rd position. Stewards might be called on that. Very much look like there might have been a nudge or 2. I think that will be this, as it stands now, the top 3. We'll have to see it. Sometimes it's quite deceiving, the view that we get, but it did look like Tim maybe forced Sean to go too wide. But he's going to win this sprint race from Reese. Sean will finish 3rd, who smashed his Oh no, he's not. Oh my word, he's going to finish 5th because of that. Wow. Palander does get the 3rd podium position. Paddy gets 4th, of course. Just waiting for everyone else. King Panda and Nade over the line. Ice One over the line in 8th. Here comes Josh, who's fought back valiantly after dropping down to 18th on lap 1. Fantastic job there. Back up to 9th. Aiden's coming around the corner to take 10th position from Taffy, who will be in 11th. As you see, not much of a gap. Craig there in 12th. That's Bucko just finishing. Here comes Pandaman Gaming round the final corner. And just behind him, Shane, his teammate. And that will be the sprint race over. And I will tell you what, that was a great race. And a bit of controversy there at the end. Tim, fantastic driver, and of course our current world champion, but he has been in a couple of incidents recently where, rightfully or wrongly, we're not here to judge, we're just here to watch. He has been accused of being maybe overly aggressive, a bit Max Verstappen-esque, but we'll see. We'll see what happens with the stewards at the end there. I think Sean can take a lot of confidence from that, though. He looked very good all the way through there. So obviously we have another qualifying event. It's the usual qualifying that we would have. This is qualifying for the feature race, which is 36 laps instead of, I believe it's 36. I could be getting that wrong. Instead of 12. And we'll see who puts it on pole position. While everybody's setting up the car again, and we'll just see. I think we've got our first car coming out. Yep, it's going to be Shane, who's an AI Logan Sargent. What about Craig? He's also allegedly an AI Logan Sargent. I don't think that's right. It could be. Who was the first? It was Shane, wasn't it? We'll get on board with Shane. Just look, looking at the chat there. It was kicking off more than a little bit. Obviously, Sean not happy at all. And if he sees that again, he's got no hesitation putting the other guy into a barrier if he gets pushed off like that. So So Shane's first lap is going to be a 118.8. That's going to kick us off. That's going to be the target, at least temporarily, as Craig puts in a 116.1. And Asteers puts in a 114.3. Again, Asteers looking very quick. And Taffy does 117.0. Let's get on board with one of our favourite drivers here on the stream. That's Josh. There's obviously no favouritism when it comes to calling the comms and everything. But we do have, you know, we've got the People's Champ, Paddy. And Josh, another regular viewer, interactor, and also driver. Always want to see him do well. Calendar with a 114.9. Time's coming in thick and fast here. King Pandora 115.7, 115.9 for Chaffee. Taffy's 117.0. Ace with a 117.5. So, yeah. These are just the first lap times, though. Excuse me. I'm sure we'll see some improvement, unless it is like the last session where was that time of Sean's held up fully throughout the qualifying session from start to finish. Speaking of Sean, he's on a fast lap right now, and he has invalidated. So there you go. It's, here comes Bucko. He's also on a fast lap. I imagine, would he have the fuel to do it? Oh, he's come in the pits anyway. Or has he? No, I have to see where he is. He might have enough fuel to just go again and go fast lap from there. We'll see. We'll stick with Bucko until he finishes his lap, of course. Would be disrespectful to do anything else. With a 116.8, and let's go back down to Sean again then. And yeah, has stayed out. May have been purposeful there to burn off as much fuel as possible. Of course, Hungary can go a bit more, just a little bit more technical now. We've got a longer qualifying session. Hungary does have no problems with wearing your tyres and getting your tyres up to temp. Yeah, your tyres absolutely roasting here. It's all the oh, that's purple sector 2 there from Sean. Yeah, so really high downforce, and the corners. I've heard Hungary be called Monaco without walls, but I understand that, where there's not much room to overtake, but I also think that is a little bit harsh on the circuit. I think it's more sweeping. It's still technical, but I wouldn't say Monaco without walls. I think that's going too far. So Sean puts it into second with a 114.4. Asteer's currently provisionally on pole position. That's we've got our sprint race winner, Tim, on an outlap, so we're going to wait and get him, see what he does. Is he going to do two laps just to burn off the fuel again? We'll have to see. Here comes Ice One, actually. Former teammate on his fast lap. Another good showing from him in the sprint race. Very consistent. I don't think he's ever going to give you a you know, ridiculously fast laps, but neither will he give you any ridiculously slow ones, and his consistency really does help him. He's in sector 3 here, keeping an eye out. We have got Tim on a fast lap, or potentially at least a fast lap. Reese, of course, finishing second there in that sprint race, is also on a fast lap. So as soon as this time comes in, we're going to switch to Tim as quickly as possible. It's going to be a 1:15.5, good enough for 5th right now. Now we'll see as Tim, yeah, Tim's just doing the one fast lap, well, one out lap and straight onto the fast lap. Eyes on Reese's qualifying time. Reese and Tim have been very, very consistent and very close in terms of their, not just qualifying times, but race times too, for a while now. We also saw Reese racing the F2 midweek championship, and that's a 1:14.2 from Tim, which is good enough to be provisional pole. Reese has run wide. I don't know if that's purposefully wide, just to get a better line in. But the long right-hander up the hill, it's a hairpin basically, and did 2 outlaps, should we say? That's what I call them anyway. We'll have to see. 1:14.2 wouldn't have been good enough for pole in the sprint quali, so there is more in this circuit, you would imagine. It's a 1:14.389 from Reese, which 3rd position. That's a very good lap to put down as, let's say, like as a marker, and I'm sure, you know, so now you can go all out knowing that that's a very fast time. We've got 5 drivers so far under 1:15 in the 1:14s, and there's quite a big gap between Palander and Josh from 5th to 6th, looking at about half a second. We're watching Paddy now. We're riding on board with Paddy, and we want to see a quick lap from our main man, the People's Champ. Currently 2nd in the drivers' standings, so we're looking to pick up maximum points in this feature race that we've got coming up. And a 1:14.7, 6th position, and also the 6th driver to go under 1:15. Sean now is on a outlap, coming towards the end of his outlap. He's got his teammate Ice One just in front on a fast lap. Is Ice One going to give him a tow down the start-finish straight? That would be interesting. No, Ice One has come into the pits. So here we go then. The man who took pole in the sprint race qualifying, Sean, currently on a 1:14.4. Very, very close at the top. A couple of tenths would be good enough. Very nice line, very smooth. Using all of the track, as you can see. Use the full width of the track. Already over a tenth up. This looks to be a decent lap so far. Well, more than decent. Ooh, big adjustment there. That would have lost a bit of time. Coming out of the chicane. Awkward chicane, that. You can see the curb. The really high curbs that you can't afford to go over. Into sector 3 now. And what's it going to be from Sean? It does look like a very, very good lap. We'll see how much that time that costs. That slight error in sector 2 it hasn't cost a lot. He's the first driver this weekend to go into the 113s with a 1:13.971. That's a phenomenal lap. And you're starting to reach the limits of what these guys are probably going to do in qualifying. And that's thrown the gauntlet down to those behind him. So everyone's got a timing now. As Pandaman Gaming, the last one to do so, a 1:17.8. And nobody on a fast lap right now either. The Pandaman's on his in lap, and so is Sean. King Panda just started a fast lap there, I think. Oh, I'm pressing the wrong button. It's giving you all seizures there. Let's see what sort of time King Panda can put in. Definitely got it in him to go underneath that 1:15 mark. And he's going to need to for a good qualifying second. So down on his time through sector 1. Only 100th, so it's not the end of the world. And his sector 1 could have been a good one on his initial lap, on his initial time that he's put in. And it could have been in sector 2 and or 3 where he lost time. So, but he has lost a little bit more there. That's about half a tenth. Look, that's let's see. It's going to be a fantastic sector 3 to put in a 1:15.3, but not going to be enough. And I think that's probably going to be his last lap. Actually, we've got Reese on a fast lap, and that's a really good sector 1, but an invalidation. Might have time if he picks in to come back out. We'll have to see. Tim and Sean, of course, both there in the pits waiting. The steers now currently 3rd position. Provisionally, going to be on the 2nd row of the grid. Let's check the sector time. Over a tenth up. Oh, Sean's confident there, so that should be enough. Well, this looks to be a very good lap. At least sector 1 was excellent there from the steers. 2.5 tenths up. We could be looking at a potential pole sitting lap here. The sector 3's got to be really good. Yes, it's just. It's less than a tenth, but it's just enough for provisional pole right now. Reese is going again. Let's see what sort of time he's put in at the end of sector 2. He's 3 seconds down. That's going to be his qualifying over. Tim now on a fast lap. Apparently a tenth down. He's got to go for it though. Not enough time to go again. And that's an invalidation from Tim. I think Paddy's looking like he's going slower too. Yep. So, on to Josh. Ever so slightly up, and it's an invalidation. Let's go to Nade then. This is not unusual on the very last lap of qualifying. You do you do put everything into it. You know, you don't hold back. Well, let's see what Nade can do. They're looking to move up in that top 10. He only has to get a couple of tenths. We'll see if he's managed to do this. Yes, he has. Up to 8th position. That's a very, very good lap. And just Taffy and Bucko to go. So let's switch to Bucko, who's coming around the last corner. Managed to go quicker. It's not enough to make up a place, but you see, it looks like it's Taffy. Yeah, Taffy's well down on his time, so that is going to be the grid for our feature race. Astias is going to take pole position, and it's going to be Sean in second. Making up the front row, then we've got Reese and Tim on the second row, followed by Paddy and Palander. On the fourth row of the grid, we've got Josh and Nade. King Panda there in 9th with Ice One in 10th. Craig 11th, Chappie 12th, Aiden 13th, Taffy 14th. Bucko, unfortunately, went quicker, but we'll be starting in 15th. 16th for Pandaman, Ace in 17th, and Shane will be starting 18th position. That's your full grid for this feature race. We'll wait and see how that grid develops over the course of the race and moves being made. As you can see there, less than a second between the top 6, but then there's a bit of a gap, and you see, for such a short circuit as Hungary, the gaps can be quite significant. It just shows, as I mentioned before, that you can't afford to get anything wrong here. One lapse in concentration and it could all be over in terms of qualifying and certainly in terms of your race. So got to be really switched on. Weather looks good for the race so far though, which is always nice to see. Nobody wants to see full wet race around Hungary. If you think overtaking is difficult in the dry, well, in the wet it's very, very difficult. Although you probably see a lot of people aquaplaning and spinning out in the wet at Hungary. This track is very high downforce. Not sure if it's... I don't think it's quite 50-50 on the wings, but it's close. So, unlike the sprint race, there is an obligation to pit under dry weather conditions at least once to change the compound of your tyre. And I think we'll see most people running medium hard or hard medium on the strategy. I'm a fan of going medium first, just in case there's a safety car early. I think you can, it just kind of covers your bases. If there's a safety car on lap 4 and you're on the hard tyres, you can't really pit in and go the rest of the race on mediums. But see, Reese has gone on the hard tyre. Nade and King Panda also on the hard tyre, along with Bucko, Pandaman and Shane. Everyone else running the mediums. I expect there'll be a few track limit penalties during the course of this race. It's the nature of Hungary. It's It's not Austria in terms of track limits, but you can get caught out running wide. I'll show you where. So you see Shane. There's a left-hander coming up here. This is the one where it's very, very easy at top, at racing speed to run wide there and get a track limits warning. Everybody starting to line up on the grid. Again, we'll see if there's any disqualifications for going a little bit too far. Trying to get every last centimetre to start us far forward in that start-finish box as you can. There's Craig, Bucko and Ace this time, and we're waiting for the final Sauber to line up, and it's Shane. He has unfortunately been disqualified as well, so it'd be last and starting further back. Here we go then, 5 lights and we're underway, and that's a really good start from Tim this time. 4th position. The difficult is going to try and make a little move, is he? On the inside. I think he's a little bit more courteous when it comes to racing side by side with Reese. I think that's quite obvious. Everybody got away cleanly at least. That's always good to see. Bucko dropping down into 18th. Good start from Shane. Up into 15th position. I've got a good view of everyone here. Through the chicane. We've already got yellow flags. Whoa! And I think that's Taffy. You've seen him there in the background. Yellow's in sector 2, but he's managed to keep going. Astias has had a very, very good start, holding on to 1st position. Reese has also had a good start, especially considering he's on those hard tyres. If he can stay within a second for the end of this lap, that will be massively important. Go further back, you can see there's battles going on all over the place here. Aidan dropped slightly back, but currently running 10th. He's got Naden Chappie right in his backside. Looking to make moves. Now just dropping back a little bit. Back up to the front then, as we see actually Taffy in the pits. Changing that front wing. Hard tyres on. Gonna have to pit at least one more. I don't see the hard tyres doing a 34 racing. That's not going to happen. There's the possible but unlikely race strategies. The one stop is probably fair, but yeah. We'll have to see if there's a safety car or not. That will obviously change people's thinking as regards the strategies. So up to Sean in second. DRS, as you can see, enabled. That wing is open. Quite far back to make a move. He's just about kept it within DRS range. Double DRS zone, but the second one, really you've got to get your overtake done either before or going into the corner, and then that second DRS just keeps you in front. Sean just throwing it around the corner there. I expect Sean to be looking to make a pass as soon as possible. Asters was very quick, and that's 3 seconds already for Sean though. This early on, we're only on lap 3. Only 2 completed laps. That's going to put a lot of pressure on going into the later stages of this race. If you catch us a couple of track limit warnings, he's pushing very, very hard to get first place. But as we've seen before, 3 seconds, if those around you don't get any penalties, is very costly. He has put in the fastest lap of the race, and he will make his move now. And just behind, you can see Tim going through on Reese. Asters not able to hold that position, and Reese also not able to hold it. Bit of a gap from Palander to Josh, 2 seconds. And so we've got 4 cars here, 3rd, 4th, 5th and 6th, Tim, Reese, Paddy and Palander, all battling together for the final podium place. Tim about 1.4 behind-ish to Asters in second, so got to get a move on and try and close that gap and get within DRS range. Otherwise he's going to be susceptible to a pass from those behind him. Now coming up to the section of the track with DRS, you see the front 2 go through. I imagine Asters is going to close the gaps, whether he gets through here or not. Yeah, quite an easy pass, just slowing Sean down. Reese has gone through on those hard tyres. That's just going to slow them up in comparison with the front 2, I imagine. Reese in a very good position right now. He's going to have to go longer, of course, on those hard tyres. But then he will be able to finish on the mediums and really put his foot down. So we'll have to see how he gets on there. Gap to 3rd from 2nd now. Down to 1.1. Reese really pushing to try and get DRS. And understandably, so that it gives him a bit of extra protection against those behind him. He has done. He's just about keeping it in. Now he's just out. It's going to be tight. If he gets it, it's going to be massive for him, that. Let's see. Yes, you saw the rear wing open there. DRS enabled. It's going to keep him within range of those in front, and it's also going to keep those behind him very honest. Palander's just fell off a little bit from the 5 in front. He's over a second behind Paddy now. As you can see, Tim now over a second behind Reese, by the way. So we might be seeing a lot of strategical driving going on, which wouldn't surprise me. Just everyone just positioning themselves and racing their own race, not too worried about everything going on around them. As King Panda's gone through on Josh there, Josh down to 8th position. We are though watching the battle for first position, and Reese has really closed the gap here, and has lost a bit of time there. I think that was because there was a lap car in the way, messed with the times on the left. So Sean, 5/10 behind, down the start finish straight. DRS enabled. No, not close enough. Asters has got this race nicely under control right now. especially given that Sean behind him has a 3-second penalty. We've got blue flags out for the Ferrari. It doesn't matter because they will be ghosted, allowing those that are going to lap to get through. You know, Sean again pushing it to the limits there, that left-hander that I mentioned. And we have a full safety car. Okay, so that's Taffy that's out. And this is where those on the mediums are going to be thinking about pitting in. And it's going to leave Reese in no man's land, because if he pits in for a medium compound, he's going to be really struggling to take those the rest of the race. Whereas these on the mediums, if they pit in for hard tyres, they'd probably make those hard tyres, could have managed them through the rest of the race. We'll have to see. Also, Sean having the 3-second penalty, as expected, everyone coming in. Even Reese is coming in here. Yeah, that 3 seconds is going to be really costly right now, just because he's going to be bunched up. The whole pack's going to be bunched up. The one thing I will say about Reese right now is, because he's on mediums, his restart, if he's quick, he's got a real chance. King Panda currently in first position. Didn't pit in. He's on the hard tyres, I believe. Let's just have a look. Yeah, him and Ice One have both stayed out. Ice One on the mediums. I'm surprised he's not coming. Nade stayed out as well, which, being on the hard tyres, I won't say it's a sensible option, but I can understand it. Because are you going to be able to go the rest of the race on mediums? I guess Reese will be the litmus test for that. But yeah, so Asteers has just got that one car in between himself and Sean. Has to make sure he has a good restart, of course, and you would expect him to pass those two in front of him pretty quickly. But he's got a nice one car buffer between himself and Sean, and while Sean's trying to get past Nade, he could pull away a little bit. No DRS until the second lap after the safety car too, which I think might make a big difference, or a big impact, should I say, in terms of the race. You can pull away and get a decent gap on your rival. So Ice One's decided to come in. I think he didn't come in last lap because of his teammate coming in, but he's going to lose more positions doing it this way than if he had double stacked. You're going to have at least one more lap under the safety car. And because we're going to have at least one more lap under the safety car, I'm going to have a little drink. I can confirm that Asteers and Sean are working together here to pull away, which I don't understand. They're not teammates. the Williams and the Mercedes, to be, I imagine, very much frowned upon. If that is the case. But yeah, we'll have to see what happens there. The safety car still out for the third lap running. So safety car is in this lap, and we're going to get a restart here. So King Panda's gone. Asters is caught out a little bit. You can see lots of movement here. Sean up into third. Once again complaining in the chat about other drivers. I saw a bit of somebody's wing was going flying there, so I think it might have been Nades. Steers goes through into first position then. Got a decent gap. Reese up into third on those mediums, as I mentioned. If he has a good restart, everyone else could be in a bit of trouble. Will be difficult for the entirety of the race. Let's drop down 1.5 behind the steers though. Sean really struggling in fourth position. He's going to have Tim coming along here. Shane gets is the second driver now to get 3 seconds. Pandaman gets it as well. Hopefully you don't see any naughty stuff here between. Oh, and there we go. And that's Tim without a front right end plate. And that's Sean into a wall. And he's out of the session. And that's his race done. Being very aggressive in the chat at least, talking about how he'd put people into the wall. I think Tim might have done that to him, cost himself his front wing. Under VSC conditions, Pandaman Gaming's out as well. I didn't notice he'd gone. Still under VSC. Oh, excuse me. Right, we're under race conditions anyway again. So Reese in second position has closed the gap to less than a second. Just waiting for things to slightly settle down in the chat too. So Paddy actually running fourth here, is having a really good time. Tim still holding on to fifth as well with that damage, although it looks like he might be losing a position. It's close between him and Hollander. Paddy's gone through into third, so if Paddy can manage to stay in front of Tim Hughes, either going to pit again or he's probably waiting on a safety car. But there's a good chance for Paddy to pick up some good points and close the gap going into the last race of the season. It's going to be a similar finish to last season. In terms of Paddy's going to be second going into the last race behind Tim. Now Palland is out. Is there going to be a safety car? I'm sorry, I had my mic muted. No, well, I'm surprised there's not a safety car. I swear, we're only about halfway through the race, and or coming up to halfway. Yeah, it's a little bit surprising. We've got 4 people now DNFing. Reese on 3 seconds. Paddy, you can get that gap down a bit. Is going to be looking very good. Tim in 4th. Josh going to look to make a move as soon as possible up into 5th. He's had a very good restart, by the way. Looking really good. He had a good sprint race in as well. Oh, and that's 3 seconds for Josh there. I've literally given him the commentator's curse. But yeah, he did have a really good sprint race after he had a torrid time on that one, or really just threw into turn 1. Pulled it back, finished 9th from out of 18th too. It was right down at the back at one point. Right now it's looking pretty solid, and I think it's a matter of time before he gets through on Tim. You see Tim still without that front right end plate. It's going to be very, very costly, I think, long run. Josh, is he going to make? He's going to try and go down the inside. Tim nicely cut it off there, left enough room. Josh not quite able to get through, and all the while he's going to be losing time to those in front. Some big gaps opening up now. You see the field is very spread out. Asters is over 2 seconds in front of Reese, who has a 3-second gap to Paddy, just about holding on to second after penalties. Tim now 3.3-ish behind Paddy too, and I think Philander DNFing is probably not great for Paddy, because he could have helped Tim get less points. Keaton Panda 2.6 behind these pair in 4th and 5th. Had a decent restart. He stayed out. His tyres are be at the limits right now. He's pitting in any time. Yeah, again, Josh not quite able to get within range. I think he might have to sacrifice the entry into that last corner and just get a really good solid exit. Use that momentum to make the pass down the start-finish straight. Nader's retired in the pit, so that's it. Another one bites the dust. 3 seconds for Craig. That's also not ideal. Paddy closing the gap now, by the way, 2.5 to Reese. Mentioned Reese. He's on the medium tyres, 11 laps old. At some point soon they're going to drop off. He's going to have to pit in. See, we've got a Ferrari coming in the pits there. I think that might be Ace. Well, it has to be, because Taffy's obviously out of the race, so. Here comes Josh again. And again, not able to get close enough. And that's, you know. He's closer this time. I think he might actually have a chance this time. If he can just hold that inside line, we'll see. Not quite. That was as close to making the pass there as he's going to get without actually making the pass. Let's go up to Paddy though. Currently in third position. Let's close the gap now massively on the on Reese in second place. He's actually dropped quite far back from Asters. I think Asters has got this race in the bag right now. There's a long way to go. You've still got about 14 racing laps left, so nothing is confirmed. Nothing's set in stone at the minute, but yeah, here comes Paddy then. You see, he makes the move early, has the advantage with those tyres. Now moves 2 positions clear of Tim. Interesting to see if Paddy can close the gap, actually, on the current race leader, Sturs. I'm interested to see if he's capable of doing that. As you see, Tim's just dropping back now from Josh. He's just got to try and keep within DRS for as long as possible. Ice one here on relatively new tyres, I believe. Well, still 13 laps, so only a couple of laps left. He's got 3 seconds there. You see most of the field now have that. You've got Shane who's on actually on 12 seconds. Tim, all he's got to do there is just try and stay within DRS range of Josh, and he should be able to hold off those behind him. Josh is going at a fair decent pace and looks to be on for a podium. Let's check the tyres once more. Reese, 15 laps on these mediums. Is he going to be able to go another 12 and a half? I don't think so. And I think if anything, Josh is going to close this gap pretty quick. And then Reese has retired from the session, and that's a full safety car. Full safety car. And unfortunately there for the Haas driver, out of the race. So Tim's going to fix his wing, of course. But then you've got King Panda just behind, who's going to be sat in the pits waiting, assuming that he pits in at the same time. Let's just have a look at the tyre. He's got to come in. He's been out for 22 laps. So, yeah, it's a tough one, this, for King Panda. Surely he's got to come in this lap, or he's going to lose too much time. Let's check how long he's going to have to sit and wait, if at all, obviously. Yeah, lost about 5 seconds there. So, yeah, not ideal. Shane has been disqualified from the session for overtaking the safety car, which is a little bit strange just because he's been lapped at least once. You'd think he'd be able to lap himself. So we're down to only 11 drivers. Hungary really tough on these guys. And I said before that there was going to be a really difficult race, especially with you know, everything, you know, 18 drivers around here. It's very difficult. You have to be at peak concentration and then hope that people around you are as well. One mistake from them can ruin your race. And then, of course, we have the old cliche that safety cars make more safety cars. Just check the tyres. It seems like everybody's out of the pits. So Chappie's going to stay on those mediums by the looks of things. That is 7 laps old. Will obviously affect him on the restart. Everyone else, aside from Bucko and Ace, are on fresh mediums. So it's going to be basically maybe an 8-9 lap sprint until the end of the race. I think now you've got to put Tim in that mix for sure. I won't put Chappie in it just because of the age of his tyres, but the fact that he hasn't taken any penalties could be huge here. Yeah, I think this particular safety car hasn't been kind to Paddy, because Tim's managed to change his front wing now, and he's got a fresh one on, no damage. So both Josh and Paddy might have to be looking over their shoulders a little bit, because the safety car's not done Josh any favours either. He managed to overtake Tim, and he's still in front of him, but we had a wounded Red Bull out there, and now we don't. You know, that's a fully functioning, no damage Red Bull, so we'll have to see. It's anyone's guess on who's going to win this race from here, both on track and after penalties have been dished out. If the safety car hadn't been out or been brought out, I think Josh, even with those 3 seconds, would have ended up pulling out enough of a gap to Tim. But now it's difficult to say. You get one more lap at least of the safety car. I think Paddy doing the smart thing here as well. I've always been a big advocate for this. That you've got 10 car lengths. If the safety car's not going to come in, then use those 10-ish. You don't have to be right at the limit, but use the car lengths to your advantage. You don't want to be stuck right behind someone and they brake and you're caught out. That's just going to cost you. So yeah, definitely always use those car lengths. Obviously, when it says, you know, when you're informed safety car coming in, then I think there's a, you know, I don't think, I know, you've got to close the gap then, and obviously be careful too, just because you don't want to you don't want to again damage your car. But yeah, then you're getting as close as possible for the restart. If you're not in first position, you're going to have to react at the restart rather than take the initiative. Although you could, you know, Paddy could take the initiative and go, but you might have to slow down and then speed up again, and that's going to leave him susceptible to be passed by other drivers. So safety car's coming in this lap at least, and we'll see what happens here under this restart. And Steers has gone. Paddy's had a decent enough restart there. I think Chappie, rather than being caught out on the restart, I think he's. I think those tyres aren't doing him any favours. Probably going to get past soon. Yeah, there's King Panda taking 5th position. Chappie still, and he's not really willingly giving that place up though. He wants to keep going. He's got Aiden now looking to make a pass. It's just those old medium tyres are not going to have the grip or the performance in them that the others do. As you can see, this top 4 has already pulled out a 2.4 second lead to 5th position. King Panda's going to be in no man's land here. Steers has got away really quickly, by the way. That's a really fast restart from him and a terrific initial lap, but is he going to be able to get Paddy? He's got another lap to do it, basically, given where the DRS zones are, but we'll have to see. Aiden goes through on Chappie there. Nice one, looking to be the next one through. Bit of a gap opening up as well between Josh and Paddy. Not quite a second yet, but yeah, that's bad news for Tim. I mean, there's nothing you can do about that. That's yeah. Oh, well, I mean, there is something you can do, I guess. I guess you can complain to the stewards. I think there has been an unnecessary amount of rough driving tonight, or overly aggressive driving. I'm not pointing fingers, everyone can work that out for themselves. But yeah, it's not, although it's been entertaining, it's not the driving you want to see, is it? So Steers has put in the fastest lap of the race, 1:15.6. Here comes Tim now, look, as you see. It's too quick. You've got to be careful though. As he drops to over a second behind Paddy. And Josh moves down to 4th. But yeah, I just think, I've seen a few incidents where I just think, that's just not necessary, is it? There's no need for that. We'll have to see what gets reported into the steward's room. You were running well, as I think you were like 3rd or 4th, I think, which is obviously for those that are watching back a replay or whatever and I can't see, talking to Palander, was running really high and was quite unfortunately ended up not finishing the race. Paddy's under real pressure here from Tim. This could be a pivotal moment in terms of the championship. Steers has pulled out a 2.1 second gap. All Paddy can do is try and defend. He's going to take the inside line into turn 1. Yeah, that's actually not the worst idea that there's ever been. Just going to it's going to be difficult for him though. Tim's just about, he's got in front there. Of course, towards the end of this lap, Paddy's going to have the DRS. There's Josh hanging on there as well. I say hanging on, he's really close. It's not like he's not in this race for a podium. At least on track, I think the 3 seconds will cost him. But he's definitely still got a chance, at least getting over that finish line. Third or second, I think, barring anything drastic, I think the Steers has got this in the bag tonight. Paddy trying to get that slipstream. It's close. He's going to sling it around the outside here. We've got a perfect view here from Josh to the two in front. Tim retaking the position. Josh looking very good for ERS here. He's just letting these guys battle and he's saving his battery. I wouldn't mind seeing him just burn off like 10-15% more and just keep it at around 80% his battery. If it's at 100%, it's not charging anymore, you know, so you're actually losing out. So you might as well burn off a little bit, 15-20% of your battery. At least that's my theory, if you want to call it that. Looking pretty quick, that lap. It's got quite a good gap there. Obviously, Paddy's still going to have DRS, but he's not going to be able to close the gap enough to where he's side by side with Tim, unless he has a really good exit here. He's got the gap down to about half a second, but considering he was side by side this time last lap, I think Tim's looking to just stretch Paddy to his limits and cut him off in terms of the DRS he's receiving. Josh then, Josh just about staying in DRS range, isn't he? He's not quite. He's got fourth in the bag, of course, but obviously and that's probably where he would finish, even if he can get through like on Paddy or both Paddy and Tim. But he'd want to push us as hard as he can until the end. So lap 33, we've got 3 laps left, and as you see, Paddy still got DRS, so he wasn't gapped that lap. That's, of course, always a positive. Gap to Tim from Asturs is 3.1 seconds. As Aidan Bell goes through on ice one, we've got caution in sector 1. Looks like it's... I thought that was the McLaren of Craig, but... Oh! Whoa! Oh, no! Paddy is off! That's a huge mistake there. He's going to have King Panda right behind him. Paddy's tyres are going to be very, very overheated here. Excuse me. He's over 3 seconds behind Josh too, so that penalty is not going to affect Josh as it stands. He could have just handed the podium, and he could have handed the championship here to Tim if he's not careful. Not definitively, but that loss of position in the long run could be massively negative in terms of what effect it has on Paddy's season. And there's Chappie getting his first 3 seconds right near the end there. He was doing very well to, especially on those old mediums. In the track limits a bit too much. Paddy now got the gap down to about 3 seconds. He's got about a lap and a half ish, you know, to get that underneath 3 seconds and keep it there. The gap to Josh, that is. I think he just touched the curve there. He's just going around that hairpin up the hill. And you know what happens when you do that? You spin out. And it was perfect evidence of why this track is so difficult. Caution in sector 2. It's it might be ice one. Ace. Apologies. It might be ace there. Gap 2.8. That's pretty good. Tim now, as we start the last lap, it's going to take a big effort. Steers has been saving that ERS, but Tim only 0.8 of a second behind. Paddy has dropped down to 5th. Still going to finish 3rd if he can keep the gap to 3rd position. Less than 3 seconds. But this is the last lap of the race, and let's see, can Tim find something here? He's just dropped back to a second. It's going to be very difficult. Steers has been managing both his ERS and his tyres very well. But I'll tell you what, Tim's having a right go. Slinging it around these corners. Doesn't need a 3-second penalty. Well, I guess it don't make a difference if you look at the times. But, you know, it's nice to finish without getting any track limit penalties. It's a moral victory regardless of how a race finishes. So here we go, round the last corner, and it will be a Steers. He's going to take the race. Tim's going to be 2nd in terms of the championship. That is huge. And Josh comes over the line in 3rd with King Panda in 4th. But Paddy is going to jump up only to 4th. Only to 4th. He didn't get within 3 seconds of Josh at the end there. So Josh will take a podium, which is probably, he's going to be delighted with that. Then we've got Aidan in 6th, Ice One in 7th, Craig 8th, Bucko over the line 9th, Chappie 10th, and Ace in 11th. But what a race there! Very strategical and very much a purist race, which for me, I love them. But you don't get those ones every week. And so we're going to go into the final week of the season next week, and we'll see how Tim can get on. Can he win the championship? Is Paddy going to take it on the last race of the season? No, Gagley. Tim didn't win. But I think what cost him in the end, he had damage. Yeah, I think it was front right end plate. So when everyone pitted under the 2nd safety car, he took an extra 5 seconds, which, you know, or so, you know, however long it takes to change the wing, and I think that's what cost him in the end there. And the however many laps he did, I can't remember exactly, but with that damaged wing. It was a few though. It was at least 6 or 7 laps with wing damage. I'm sure he'll be happy with 2nd position. Paddy 4th, so he's going to get more points than Paddy. And in terms of the championship, I think that could be a game changer for him. You know. I hope everyone enjoyed tonight. I certainly did. I'm aware that I wasn't at my peak in terms of commentary. I'm still recovering from last week. I think by next week I'll be fully good to go. So we'll have a great finish to the season. We can all have a good time. And see who's going to be crowned world champion. Is it going to be Tim? Is it going to be Paddy? I think it's between those two. But before I go, and as I say, I hope everyone has a fantastic week. I'd just like to thank Ace and all the team for allowing me to commentate on this league. Always a pleasure. It's always my honour to do so. And yeah, I'll see you next Sunday for our final race of this season.